Hi everyone, my name is Alex, and this presentation is going to be reviewing a media article in relation to its trustworthiness and quality. The article being reviewed was written by a professor from the University of Canberra, Dr. Mary Bushell, and it's titled How Do Stimulants Actually Work to Reduce ADHD Symptoms? I believe this was related to biological psychology, primarily through explaining at a neuronal level how these medications impact human cognition, emotion, and behavior. The CARS framework was used when assessing this article, which is essentially a tool for evaluating the quality of information present within a source. And it's broken down into four different domains, which I'll be going into a little bit more detail now. The first domain is the credibility of the article, which essentially looks at the author's expertise and how much quality control has been implemented with the article. So, in regards to Dr. Bushell's credentials and expertise, she holds a PhD and is a Master of Pharmacy convener at the University of Canberra. Now, even though this isn't in the space of ADHD, psychiatry, and mental health, which does raise some questions around credibility, Dr. Bushell has still made extensive contributions to academia in the space of pharmacy, which lends to credibility by showing a commitment to scientific method, rigor, and intellectual humility. No conflicts of interest were declared, and Dr. Bushell doesn't work for or receive funding from any sources which would benefit from the publication of this article. Therefore, it's unlikely written to meet the demands or expectations of benefiting sources. All conversation articles must undergo a strict editorial process, abiding by global editorial guidelines, with strong editorial components here listed on the slide. This demonstrates a strong commitment to publishing high quality, transparent, and honest information for audiences, lending towards credibility. Furthermore, the article's presentation style is professional, eloquent, doesn't have any jargon or minimal jargon within, and follows a logical flow with minimal grammar or spelling errors, lending towards trustworthiness again. However, the lack of conclusion may leave readers feeling a lack of containment or clarity following reading. Overall, I provided a 4 out of 5 for the credibility rating on the CARS framework. The next domain to be assessed refers to the accuracy of the article, which is essentially looking at how comprehensive, timely, and precise is the information presented. Dr. Bushell included several key citations within her piece when making claims and discussing stimulant medication use. First of all, the clinical practice guidelines for treating ADHD specify that stimulant medication is the first line treatment to be used or recommended, which Dr. Bushell has reported accurately. However, recommendations being based on low level of scientific certainty, comprehensive assessments being required, and multimodal treatment being recommended for ADHD are all not accurately reported by Dr. Bushell in her piece. Furthermore, another RCT conducted within adults on treatment efficacy of stimulant medication found certain effect sizes which Dr. Bushell attributed towards both children and adults, therefore, again, questioning the accuracy of her reporting. Furthermore, when discussing the potential risk of inducing malnutrition and weight loss in people using stimulant medications, Dr. Bushell has cited a source which is actually based on stimulant use disorders or dependence in people using these medications. Therefore, there was potentially a lack of accuracy here, whereby a different source in a more appropriate or accurate population should have been used. Last but not least, an example citation here looking at the effects of stimulant medications of people without ADHD has been reported accurately by Dr. Bushell, where productivity increases were not seen in people without ADHD. Furthermore, the article is timely, only having been published last October, so less than a year ago. And the nature of information is factual, clear, and knowledge claims are made with descriptions appropriate for a lay audience wanting to learn more about stimulant medication. The comprehensiveness in regards to the medication, mechanisms of action, benefits, and risk is fairly comprehensive. However, there is no discussion of potential long term impacts of ADHD medication, nor is there comprehensive accounts for their multimodal or multidisciplinary treatment necessities for ADHD. Based on the latter information, I provided a 3 out of 5 for accuracy in regards to Dr. Bushell's article. The next domain to be assessed is the reasonableness of the article, which has a look at how much bias may be present within the piece, as well as how objective or logical versus subjective and emotional the piece is. Dr. Bushell's piece displays a reasonable amount of fairness by medication functions, benefits, and side effects all being presented neutrally with scientific evidence for most claims, which may lend towards reasonableness by helping readers make autonomous and informed decisions. However, there's potentially inherent bias present within the article towards stimulant medication use, given that Dr. Bushell is a pharmacy professor herself. And furthermore, in regards to this, it's written within a neurotypical lens, claiming these medications are essential for social interactions and for managing symptoms or pathology of ADHD. Therefore, questioning reasonableness by lacking a social justice representation and lens. However, the language used is relatively objective and does not include any hyperboles or extreme statements to provoke emotional responses in the audience, therefore lending to reasonableness by helping readers potentially be more likely to feel informed rather than persuaded in a logical and rational manner. Finally, there are no contradictions present within the article, where both benefits and risks of the medication are discussed relatively evenly in an intentional manner. Therefore, again, lending to reasonableness and helping readers seek more confidence in the consistency to make informed decisions. Overall, I gave the reasonableness domain a 4 out of 5 rating. Last but not least, supporting citations used by the article must be analysed in regards to their agreement and consistency that they share with other reputable sources. First of all, Dr. Bushell has made several relatively strong claims regarding stimulant medication use for ADHDers, and some of these claims, of which I've included examples for, are made without supportive evidence, potentially influencing audiences' trust in regards to the support used by Dr. Bushell. However, those sources which are cited with hyperlinks are peer reviewed academic articles and government guidelines, lending towards source quality. Relatively strong corroboration and external consistency can be observed between sources in the article cited by Dr. Bushell and other reputable sources found within the academic literature regarding the general efficacy, medications available, and expected side effects from the medications. However, corroboration and external consistency are challenged by these two example sources, with one published paper from last year displaying only inconsistent and small effects of stimulant medication use upon sleep quality, whereas Dr. Bushell had made claims that stimulant medication is likely to hinder sleep quality. And furthermore, this located source reports on sex specific differences in treatment efficacy for stimulant medication, challenging Dr. Bushell's reporting, which covers all sexes and genders. Overall, I provided a 4 out of 5 for the support domain. Overall, I deemed Dr. Bushell's piece to be a quality, informative piece for lay audiences to learn more about how these medications work, their efficacy in management of ADHD, and potential negative side effects of their use. However, the article's overall quality may have been improved through providing a more comprehensive and accurate account of primary sources included, discussing treatment beyond only medication use, as well as recognizing lived experience through a strengths based and social justice lens, rather than only perceiving ADHD through a deficit based lens. Thank you for listening to my presentation.